Madam! 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 This is a mosque. You have no right to be here. This is a holy place for Muslims. You should have taken off your shoes.
But I have taken them off.
You have?
Yes, I left them there at the entrance.
Oh. Well, then I ask your pardon. I'm truly sorry for speaking.
But I was right, wasn't I? If I remove my shoes, I am allowed.
Yes, of course, but so few ladies take the trouble, especially thinking there is no one there to see.
Well, that makes no difference. God is here.
Please, may I know your name?
Mrs. Moore.
Mrs. Moore, I shall tell all my friends about you. That God is here. That is good. Very fine indeed. I think you are newly arrived in India. You ought not to walk alone at night.
Oh, but I've only come from the club. They're doing a play.
A play? Then why are you not there?
I've already seen it in London. Yes, it was so hot.
Oh, but there are bad characters about, and leopards may come from the Malabar Hills, and snakes also.
Oh, I'd forgotten about snakes.
For me, it does not matter. I'm used to snakes, but for one...
Used to snakes?
I'm a doctor. They dare not bite me.
Oh.
Please, may I ask you a question?
Yes.
Why ever do you come to Chandrapur?
To visit my son. He's the city magistrate here.
Oh, no. That is quite impossible. Our city magistrate is Mr. Heslop. Oh, I know him quite intimately, Mr. Heslop.
Yes, he's my son all the same.
Mrs. Moore, how can that be?
I was married twice.
Oh, I see. And your first husband died?
Yes, and my second, too.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I startled you. Would you care to see the Minto Hospital one morning?
Thank you, but I've seen it already. Oh, I should have liked to come with you very much.
I suppose the civil surgeon took you there.
Yes, and Mrs. Callender.
Ah, yes, a very charming lady.
Possibly, when one knows her better.
What? You didn't like her?
She was certainly intending to be kind, but I didn't find her exactly charming.
Oh, Mrs. Moore, you understand me. Oh, you know what I feel. Oh, if only the others resembled you.
I don't think I understand people very well. I only know whether I like them or dislike them.
Good, then you are an Oriental. Would you like me to escort you back to the club, Mrs. Moore?
Oh, thank you. That would be most kind. Well, may I take your arm?
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, but first, your shoes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I have simply walked in unannounced. Will you please forgive this informality?
Yes, of course. Please, make yourself at home.
May I really? This is so very good of you. I do like unconventional behavior so extremely.
Ah, delighted.
The fact is, I have been wanting to meet you for a long time. When you first came here, shall I tell you what I used to wish?
Yes.
I used to wish that you would fall ill, so we would meet that way.
Well, you know me by sight, then.
Of course. You know me?
Yes, I know you assist Mr. Callender, yes.
I say, Mr. Fielding.
Yes?
Guess what I look like before you come out.
Well, you're 5 feet 9 inches tall.
Jolly good, jolly good.
Well, I should think so. I could tell that much through the door.
Oh. Well, what else?
Well, oh, blast.
Anything is wrong?
Yes. I've just trodden on my last back collar stud.
Oh. Take mine, take mine.
Have you got a spare one?
Yes. 1 minute.
Oh, no, not if you're wearing it yourself.
No. Here in my pocket. Here it is.
Oh, but nobody carries a spare collar stud in his pocket.
I always, in case of emergency.
Nonsense.
Indians are famous for talking nonsense, doubtless you know that.
No, I mean, I don't want to deprive you of it.
Oh, no depriving, I assure you. It will be the highest of honors for me.
Oh, Dr. Aziz, you keep your collar stud. I can easily send for a new one.
Yes, by all means. Send your servant to the bazaar and get a new collar stud. An unsoiled collar stud. That is what Indians are for, isn't it?
So what on earth are you talking about?
Only an Englishman is friend enough to do you a favor. I'm wrong to offer, I can see that.
Oh, please forgive me. Dr. Aziz, just one moment. Oh, it seems absurd to quarrel with a man one's never even seen. I'd be delighted to wear your collar stud.
Of course. No trouble.
Thank you. Many thanks.
Oh, such a small thing.
And again, my apologies. The fact is, I've had a ghastly day with government inspection committees, you know. Do sit down. I'm sorry about this. I won't be long.
Oh, no, please. I do like people who do the unconventional.
Oh, you do?
Yes, it makes me feel we have been friends for a long time.
Well, these government inspection committees won't think so, I can assure you. Oh, no. The Indians and the British must each keep their place, they tell me.
I always thought Englishmen kept their rooms so tidy. It seems this is not so. I need not be so ashamed. Everything ranged coldly on shelves. That is what I thought. Shall I tell you something else?
Yes.
This is the first time I have ever been invited to an Englishman's house. Oh, I have been summoned in case of sickness when Mr. Calendar is away. But for a jolly social occasion like this, informal, as equals, never. Never.
There's no end to our stupidity in India. Why must we add social insult to political injury, I wonder?
Social insult to political injury. Very good. Very good. I shall remember to tell that to all my friends.
Well, it can't be a very new idea to them.
No. The idea, no. But to hear it from an Englishman, yes. Oh, I assure you. You see, we talk such things among ourselves.
Yes, well, now, if it's all the same to you, I would appreciate it if you didn't mention the remark to them because, well, it was just a casual observation.
You are worried about the indiscretion of my friends.
Oh, no, of course not. No.
The Indians, too, understand discretion. You know, it is reserved not only for the British.
Oh, but my dear Aziz, I wasn't insulting your friend.
That is very good, for they are very big-hearted chaps. You know old Hamidullah, the lawyer, or Mahmud Ali. Oh, there is a philosopher, or the Nawab Bahadur.
Tell me, do any of you go to these bridge parties?
As Muslims, Mr. Fielding, we do not play cards.
Oh, no, sorry, no, it's not that kind of bridge. No, that's one of Turton's depressing little jokes. What he means is a party to bridge the gulf between East and West.
Oh, I see, a bridge party. Very witty. Oh, no, we do not go to these. You see, my friends say to me, what can you expect from these English? Scorn, no understanding of our customs and our civilization. Social insult, you see. Better leave them alone.
Well, they may very well be right, you know.
Oh, no. Excuse me, Mr. Fielding. I must disagree. You see, I think friendship is possible. Not only possible, but important. No, I know what you will tell me. Oil and water, we do not mix. Well, we have our political differences. You do not like our food and our customs. We try to like yours, but... well, in any event, you think us backward. We think you're uncouth. What to do? Now, I say that friendship between two individuals is bigger than all the other things. You agree?
Yeah, well, I never knew of any friendships that began at these bridge parties.
My friends are wise when they advise me not to go. Though imagine, I might have met you there, Mr. Fielding. Also, I'm curious about the English club, where we may not enter.
Ah, yes, we find that excessively boring. You know, billiards, tennis, and drinks in the bar, where Englishmen don't mind having one too many because there are no Indians there to observe them. Ah, here it is. No, you find it quite deadly.
Then why do you go?
Oh, I don't know. I suppose people would think me peculiar if I didn't. And besides, well, I find it simpler not to make enemies. Take up too much time.
Or friends either. They too take up too much time. You know what I want? The secret understanding of the heart.
Yes, well, I'm not so ambitious. I only want to teach. And particularly here. I can't complicate my life with things that would interfere with that.
Well, if I were so good in my profession as you are...
Oh, indeed, you flatter me.
No flattery. No, I've heard your lectures. I've heard you... Mr. Fielding, I say, is that stud not going in?
Oh, God, why the hell do we have to wear collars?
May I put that in?
Yes, please.
Well, we wear them to pass the police.
Ah, that's pass the police, huh?
Well, you see, if I'm bicycling in English dress, they let me pass. But if I'm wearing Indian clothes, they cry out, "Hey, your lamp is out." Oh, Mr. Fielding. You know, sometimes I shut my eyes and I dream that I have splendid clothes again and that I am riding in battle behind Alamgir. Oh, the Mughal Empire at its height, Alamgir reigning in Delhi upon the peacock throne. I say, Mr. Fielding, don't you think India must have been beautiful then?
I do indeed. Yes, well, you'll have an opportunity of describing it to these two ladies who are coming to tea, to meet you.
Meet me?
Yes.
Oh, I know no ladies.
What, not Miss Crested and Mrs. Moore?
Yes, Mrs. Moore. But her companion,
Miss Crested, she's, Kensington intellectual. You can tell her about the Peacock Throne if you like. She says she wants to know the real India.
So this is to be a bridge party after all.
Ah, no, please, no, I'm sorry. No, Miss Crested, I've made her sound a bit of a prig. No, I thought it very sensible for her to want to meet Indians if she's, if she's really going to make her life in this country.
Oh, I see. She's to settle here in Chandrapur altogether?
Well, we can't be quite certain yet. You know, she may be getting married here.
Yes. Believe me, Mr. Fielding, I'm greatly honored that you tell me this at such short acquaintance. I mean it most sincerely. And without doubt, I will attempt to entertain her in my poor way.
Oh, no, that's very good of you, but actually, it was because of Mrs. Moore I invited you. She particularly asked me to invite you, so naturally I agreed.
Naturally? Though I only just met her once.
Oh, yes, you met in a mosque, didn't you?
Oh, yes, in a mosque. Amazing woman. You know, she's the first Oriental European I have ever met.
No, I don't quite understand.
Well, she told me she didn't understand people very well, but she knew how to like them or dislike them.
Ah, I see. So that's being Oriental, is it? I wonder if my assistant would agree with that definition.
Professor Goldbull?
Yes, I must ask him this afternoon. That's if he shows up. Was he supposed to be coming to tea, too?
Why should he not show up?
Oh, I don't know. He might think that my food is unclean. Only he's too polite to say so. He's orthodox.
Oh, yes. Such Brahmins are very strict. All are immensely subtle. Hindu philosophy is too much for me, Mr. Fielding. You see, we poor Muslims, we rely on our heart, not so much on our intellect. Well, it is the feelings of our heart that will lead us to God. Do you agree?
Well, we're taught to believe that God is love.
You see, we are brothers after all.
I can't keep pace with you. You make my head swim.
Oh, that is very good. That is the first step. Take in one other element. We will swim together and be friends.
Here we are. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
How do you do?
No trouble finding the way.
No, none at all. Mr. Heathcliff sent us in his carriage.
Good. Yeah. I believe that you and Dr. Aziz met already.
Oh, yes, indeed. Well, how nice to see you again.
Dr. Aziz.
Mrs. Moore's told me how kind you were to her, Dr. Aziz. I'm especially pleased to meet you.
Yes, and she wants to understand a little about India, too.
Oh, who understands India? Not the Indians, at least.
Well, won't you sit down?
Yes,
Thank you. I heard from Mrs. Moore that she understood more about India from a few minutes' talk with you than in all the weeks since we landed.
Yes, I did indeed.
Don't Dr. Aziz, I wonder if you would be able to explain a disappointment we had this morning. Well, of course, it may be some form of Indian etiquette.
Oh, no, no, no. There is no question of etiquette. We are by nature a most informal people. May I know the facts?
Well, an Indian couple had invited us to call on them and were to send their carriage for us. We waited and waited and waited. It never came.
No, there's some misunderstanding, I'm sure.
Oh, no, it wasn't that. They even put off going to Calcutta to entertain us.
I think they were ashamed of their house, and that is why they did not send.
Ah, yes, now that's quite possible, you know.
I do so hate mysteries.
How very English of you, Miss Cressley.
Oh, I dislike them not because I'm English, but from a personal point of view.
Well, I rather like mysteries, but I do dislike muddles.
Well, a mystery is a muddle.
Oh, do you think so, Mr. Peters?
Mystery is a high-sounding word for muddle. Dr. Aziz and I know that, that India is a muddle.
India? Oh, what an alarming thought.
Mysteries, muddles. There will be no muddle when you come to visit me in my house. Oh, yes, please, Mrs. Moore. Miss... Everyone, I invite you all.
Well, thank you, Dr. Aziz. We shall be delighted.
Yes, please, may I write down the address?
Oh, what a pity that my bungalow is so terrible. It is nothing like this. Oh, Mrs. Moore, is this not beautiful? Oh, what delicacy. You see, this is the architecture of question and answer. And Mrs. Moore, you are in India. And then you imagine that I am some high official of the 18th century. This is my audience hall. I'm doing justice here. A poor widow who has been robbed comes to me. I give her 50 rupees. To another with a different complaint, 100 rupees. Oh, I should like that.
Yes, I agree. Our modern method does seem to be lacking in imagination and humanity. Thank you, Mr. Fielding. But rupees don't last forever.
Oh, mine would. God would give me more when he saw that I gave. For justice is giving, always giving, more kindness and more giving. No, I don't think we should punish anyone.
Oh, how different from my son's conception of being a magistrate.
But, Dr. Aziz, in England, I worked on a committee for the improvement of prison conditions.
Oh, poor criminal. Oh, give him another chance. No, 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 we should punish no one. Well, no one in my palace. And in the evening, we shall give a great big banquet, and lovely girls will shine on every side of the tank with fireworks in their hands. And all shall be feasting and happiness until the next day when there will be justice. 50 rupees, 100, 1,000. Oh, why did we not live in those times?
Oh, but India is still beautiful. Now think of our mosque.
Yes, yes, our mosque. Oh, Mrs. Moore, do you know that Mr. Fielding's garden is filled with water from our mosque? A very skillful arrangement of our emperors. They loved water, you see. Wherever they went, they created fountains, gardens, hammams.
Oh, hammams?
A hammam is a bath. Oh, but it is a beautiful, luxurious bath. Now, imagine, you imagine that you are a princess, with your long black hair flowing down to the waist, polished and gleaming like the wings of a bird. Your face is round like moon. Your breasts like pomegranates. You are surrounded by your handmaidens who rub your skin with sandalwood oil and perfume the water of the hammam with musk, and then scatter rose petals over it for beauty. Somewhere in the garden, a bulbul is singing. Oh, there is nothing sweeter than the sound of a bulbul. You step out of your veil.
Dr. Aziz, I wonder, would you mind giving Mrs. Moore another cup of tea?
Pleasure, a pleasure. Miss Creston?
Oh, well, yes.
Oh, Miss Creston, imagine this is the sharbat you are drinking. The drink of all those beautiful, voluptuous...
Dear.
No, not at all. Qasim Ali.
Dear, don't know what got into me.
Oh, Miss Creston, do you know what we say? We say that to spill food or drink, it is the sign of a generous heart. Full to overflow.
Oh, thank you. That makes me feel better. I'm not usually so clumsy.
Lovely. Got to hear Aziz, you know already, of course. And here are two new visitors to Chandapur, Mrs. Moore and Miss Creston. My elusive assistant, Professor Godberley. Mrs. Moore, as I expect you know, is the mother of our city magistrate.
And like me, has no partner. Oh, Mrs. Moore, I too have lost my wife. My children I have only left now. My children are the greatest joy to me. Yours too, Mrs. Moore?
Yes, a joy and an anxiety.
Alas, for poor Mr. Fielding, he has no children. Neither the joys nor the anxieties. Does that not give you cause for concern, Mr. Fielding?
No, not in the least.
This indifference is what the Oriental will never understand. Just imagine your name will die out entirely.
Yes, I suppose. Unless, of course, I do get married after all.
It is possible. It is possible. I know. And may I wish you much happiness in advance.
Oh, thank you very much.
Mr. Fielding, I tell you what. We will make your visit to me a celebration. A celebration in advance. That is the best kind. No, not at my house. I know what. I invite you all to visit me in the Marabar Caves.
Oh.
When I return to Chandrapur, that is.
Oh, but are you going away, Dr. Aziz?
Oh, a brief visit, no more, to a relative in Calcutta. You see, he has so many daughters, he needs some masculine conversation.
Well, when you come back, then?
Yes, indeed.
Have not the ladies already visited our caves?
No, I've never even heard of them.
Not heard of them? The famous Marabar Caves? Why, they're one of the greatest wonders of the world.
I'm sure you'll think me foolish, but tell me, what should I look for when I get there?
Well, unfortunately, I have never visited the caves myself.
Have you been to the caves, Professor Gargoli?
yes.
Are they large caves?
Oh, no, not large.
But do describe them for us, Dr. Gargoli.
It will be a great honor. In the rock is one entrance, and through the entrance is the cave.
Oh, like the caves at Elephanta.
No, there are no sculptures at Marabar.
Oh, they are immensely holy, no doubt.
Well, are they ornamented in any way?
No.
Well, then why do we talk so much of Marabar Caves? Perhaps it is our empty brag.
No, I shouldn't quite say that.
Well, then they are deservedly famous yet.
And terrible, with reason.
Terrible. But how can a cave be terrible, especially if there's nothing there?
Pardon me, Miss Question, but everything is there. For in nothing there is art.
Sorry, I'm not quite sure I understand you. Is it the emptiness that's so terrible?
If it were only a question of emptiness, then indeed caves would be empty. And no person would go there. And how could they be famous in such a case? In our religion, in Hinduism, everything has two or many faces. In the terror is also the calm and the comfort. The creator is also the destroyer.
Well, there must be something to see.
That alone believes in the evidence of her eyes.
It is obscurity or enlightenment. Nothing to see but with inner eye. I should advise you to choose some other environs for taking picnic. But I am sure you would find the case very interesting.
Well then, Professor Gorgole, please describe the beauties to these ladies, please.
It will be a great pleasure. However, I think I will forego the pleasure.
Mrs. Moore, would you care to see our college garden? Because we are rather proud of them.
Oh, thank you. I'm very fond of gardens. I find they respond to love in a way that human beings very often do not.
Oh, I will remain here if I may and talk to Dr. Aziz and Professor Cook.
Yes.
Would you like one?
Thank you.
Professor? Oh, no. Do you know, this is the first chance I've had to talk to Indians since I arrived here. At the club, they never even mention India or Indians. I don't know what happens to them. They're all perfectly reasonable in England, but in India they become,
Unkind?
well, insensitive, certainly.
Perhaps they have lost one reality and not yet found.
Yes, that may be true. But you see, the thing that's worrying me, if I were to stay here, what would I do? What would be the most useful thing for India?
Oh, Miss Quested, why be useful? Just love India. Surely that is the greatest gift.
Oh, Dr. Aziz, I'm serious. You see, in England, I lead a very active life. So different from the life the English wives lead out here.
But pardon me, Miss Question, to love is very active and can take your whole life if you understand fully all its meanings.
Yes, Professor, you're probably right. But you see, I'm not a philosopher. I need something less abstract.
Oh, Miss Quested, I tell you what, think with your heart, not with your head. Heart, heart, I say.
But that's exactly what I can't do. You see, I don't believe in the Oriental idea of women, that we shouldn't use our minds, that we should just be wives and mothers.
Oh, no.
I can see that men might not wish to relinquish their privileges.
Oh, but where there is heart, privileges don't matter. Now, the English have many privileges in India.
And no feelings. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I have no wish to find fault.
But you must. You must. Civilized people can discuss things without getting heated. Surely, that's what I want.
What I want, Miss Quested, is for you to enjoy yourself in India.
But enjoyment just isn't enough.
It is everything.
Life is more than frivolity.
I'm talking about enjoyment, giving yourself to your feelings.
Your feelings?
Without it, Miss Quested, please believe me, without it you will never love India, and Indians will never love you.
Love?
Koi hi! Koi hi! Oh, there you are. Oh, what's happened to Fielding? Where's my mother?
Good evening, Robbie.
Good evening, Mr. Heslop.
I want your mother at once. There's to be polo.
Your mother will return shortly, sir.
Surely we shouldn't leave just like
Come
this.
along and sit down and join us, Mr. Heslop. They wouldn't be long.
Boy, what's the matter with Fielding's servants? Boy! Boy!
Well, I would...
Allow us to have the honor of calling Mr. Fielding and Mrs. Maud for you, sir.
Robbie, I'm appalled.
Yes, you're not the only one. I don't know what's come over Fielding.
Mr. Fielding, what's he done?
I don't like to see an English girl left alone, smoking cigarettes with Indians.
There's no harm in that.
Well, not in England, perhaps.
What's the difference?
Can't you see that fellow's a bounder?
Oh, it's not. Just got nervous, that's all.
Oh, did he?
He was perfectly all right before you came. In fact, he was very interesting.
Oh, nothing I said. I never even spoke to him.
Oh, Ronnie, it's impossible.
No, nothing's impossible, only difficult. Oh, upset, I mean,
It's
everyone...
nothing to do with the weather.
Everything has something to do with the weather in India.
No, it's not that. I just had a vision of what our life would be like out here. The club in the evenings, the hills in the hot weather.
My dear Adela, I know the country better than you do. We all come out here with the honest wish to do well. Not exactly to mingle socially, but at least to close the gap a little. But one soon finds out that it only leads to trouble. India isn't a drawing room. We're in India to do justice and keep the peace. Them's my sentiments.
Your sentiments are those of a god.
India likes gods.
And Englishmen like posing as gods.
Oh, honestly, Adela, what do you want me to do? Lose such power I have for doing good simply because I don't go around slapping Indians on the back?
Oh, of course not.
That's what you're asking me, isn't it? Look, I know that you want to understand India and get to know the people.
Well, somebody must.
Oh, please, Adela, try not to get so emotional about it all.
Emotional. Ronnie, we must have a thorough talk.
Yes, I'm sorry. My temper's rotten in this heat. I don't mean to lecture you.
I know.
It's just the way those Indians let you down this morning. It annoyed
This has
me.
nothing to do with them. It's something quite different. I think we should consider a bit more before we get married.
Yes. Yes, all right, Adela. You take all the time you want.
Oh, Ronnie, I keep forgetting how nice you are. I feel so ashamed.
Well, you've acted entirely within your rights. I don't want you worrying and feeling guilty. You'll come round in the end, you'll see.
Well, yes, I just need time.
Yes. Yes, by all means, time.
Oh, Ronnie, I really will try to work out the pattern of my life here with you.
And I really will try to be more pleasant.
Well, at least to Dr. Aziz, because he's been so kind to us. He's invited us all to a picnic.
Us?
Yes, your mother, Mr. Fielding, Professor Godfrey.
Oh, did he say where this picnic was to be?
In the Malabar Caves.
Well, I'm blessed. Did he send to any details?
Well, if you'd spoken to him, we could have arranged them. Have I said something funny?
No. I was only thinking how the worthy doctor's collar climbed up his neck.
I thought we were discussing the caves.
Yes, so I am, yes. Aziz was exquisitely dressed from tie-pin to spats, but he'd forgotten his back collar stud. And there you have the Indian in a nutshell. Inattention to detail, the fundamental slackness that reveals the race. And similarly, to meet in the caves, as though they were the clock at Charing Cross, when they're miles from a station and each other.
Have you been to them?
No, but I know all about them, naturally.
Oh, naturally.
Mother, what's all this nonsense Adela's been telling me?
I have no idea, my dear boy.
About caves and picnics. Fielding, you're included, I hear. Of course, you're not allowed such a fantastic scheme.
Well, I don't presume to make decisions for other people, Hester.
No. Well, if you're really set on this ridiculous expedition, please allow me to arrange it. I'm sure Dr. Aziz will understand that you'll be better off in our hands.
But we want to learn something. That's the whole point of going with these Indian gentlemen.
Well, I consider the whole thing foolish and dangerous.
Dangerous, Ronnie?
Yes, dangerous. In fact, I forbid it. I forbid you both. Of course, I cannot speak for you, Mr. Fielding.
I do not know whether you have all heard that Professor Gorgole here is a great authority on Indian music. Oh, yes. It will be a great pity if we did not hear him sing. Professor, now, please, will you please do us the honor, eh?
Yes.
I may sing now. Krishna Murari, more sange aavo. Krishna Murari, more sange aavo. Gopiyan nat khat Jamuna tat par. Gopiyan nat khat Jamuna tat par. Krishna Murari, more sange aavo. Krishna Murari, more sange aavo.
Very nice. Thank you very much indeed, Professor.
What was the song about?
Yes, do tell us.
It was a religious song. I place myself in position of milkmaiden, and I say to Sri Krishna, come, come, come to me only. But the god refuses to come. I grow humble, and I say, do not come to me only, but multiply yourself into 100 Krishnas, and one go to each of my 100 companions. But one, O Lord of the universe, come to me. But he refuses to come. This is repeated several times. The song is composed in rag, appropriate to the present hour, which is the evening.
Yes, but he comes to you in some other song, I hope.
Mother,
No. No, I say to him, come, but he neglects to come.
Mother, Adela, we're already late for the polo. I'm sure everyone here will agree that you're not committed to this Malabar expedition.
I'm committed to nothing. Certainly not to this polo. I find I am tired and prefer to rest. Will you drop me at the bungalow?
Oh, yes, me too. I don't want to watch the polo either.
Very well.
Goodbye, Mr. Fielding, and thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Such an interesting afternoon.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Dr. Aziz, and we shall see you again shortly.
May I hope so?
Oh, yes. Please, Dr. Aziz.
You will reconsider this picnic at the Malabar Caves? You see, I can fix the whole thing up in a jiffy. You will see that will be my great joy to please you and Mr. Fielding.
I shall look forward to it.
Oh, good.
Mrs. Moore, Dr. Aziz is still willing to arrange the picnic. What do you say?
Well, I say we shall be delighted. Yes. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yes.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Goodbye, sir. I will accompany the ladies.
Thank you. Oh. Dear Aziz, I don't know how I'm going to apologize to you.
Oh, no apologies are necessary between friends.
As they say, oil and water.
No, you will never persuade me of that. The secret standing of the heart. I cannot lose my faith in it for a moment's rudeness.
Well, I'm very glad.
I too. Life is more interesting this way. I'm sorry for the embarrassment caused to your guests.
Oh, they'll survive it. They may even have accomplished what they set out to do. Learn something about India.
Well, it is unfortunate that the good ladies are caused distress.
You know what I ought to do? I ought to get you a drink and jog your elbow and make you spill it.
I beg your pardon.
You know, a sign of a generous heart, full to overflowing.
You know, I invented that saying on the spur of the moment.
Yes, I know you did.
It is ruined. Absolutely ruined.
Ruined, Dr. Essex.
Mr. Fielding and Professor Gorbole missed the train. They must have been held up at the level crossing. Oh, it is ruined, ruined.
Dr. Aziz, you mustn't upset yourself. If they're so foolish as to miss the train, well, it's their loss, not ours.
Mrs. Moore, I am the host. I am to blame. I should never have left Mr. Fielding in the care of Professor Gorbole. A philosopher, you see, so unreliable.
Dr. Aziz, what did you say when we dismissed my son's servant? What did you say?
That we should all be Muslims together.
Exactly. Well, without Professor Gorbole, you kept your word. Now, please don't worry. We're going to have a delightful time without them. Have I been asleep long, Adela?
Half an hour or so.
Have I missed much?
Yes. Yes, you have.
Oh. What?
Various shadows in the landscape. It's been wonderful. But it's all over now. Look.
Here we are, the famous Marawa Caves at last. Tell me, Mrs. Moore, was the journey comfortable?
Oh, yes, indeed. Everything was very well managed. Oh,
I really can't see why Ronnie made all that fuss. The only danger I can see is if one has no head to hide.
Ah, there is Chandrapur. Does it not look ridiculous from here? No more than a toy town.
Oh, but it is real. India's the only real country.
What do you mean, the only real country?
Well, you see, it embraces everything.
Yes, I suppose that's what I mean. India knows the troubles of the whole world, but offers no promises, no solutions. It jumbles everything together, like life.
Well, it certainly is an extraordinary landscape.
And you and I, Adela, are used to something more orderly, something romantic yet manageable. There is no comfort here.
Comfort? Oh, you will be comfortable here, Mrs. Moore. Please come and sit down, and you sit here and rest yourself in the shade here. Oh, ladies, put on your topies, put on your topies. The early sun is highly dangerous for heads. I speak as a doctor, of course.
Oh, doctor, put on your own topi.
Oh, no, not my thick head. Oh, look, solid ivory, you see.
Oh, I wouldn't have missed this for anything.
As you never stop saying, my dear
Oh,
Adela.
Miss Crested, one of the greatest dreams of my life has been accomplished in having you two ladies as my guests. I feel like the Emperor Babur.
Babur? why like him?
Because he never ceased showing hospitality. Because his heart was filled with love.
Love.
Yes, 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 love. You know how he died? He laid down his life for his son. You see, they were caught in the heat. And at Agra, his son fell sick. And Babar, he simply walked around the bed of his son 3 times saying, I have borne it away. I have borne. And he did bear it away, you see. The fever left his son and came to him and he died. You see, love?
Love in the heat.
Oh, but I'm keeping you ladies from your food. Please, come. Chalo ji, wo khane ki cheezein laao, jaldi se. I thought, Lala, we would just have this little bit before the caves and then breakfast afterwards.
Dr. Aziz, you've arranged everything beautifully.
Yes, beautifully. Did Adela tell you that we're to stay on here?
Oh, India has charmed you after all, love.
I am to be married.
Oh, yes, yes, I know, I know.
To Mr. Heslop.
To Mr. Heslop? Oh, well, never mind, never mind. What excellent news. Many, many heartiest congratulations. Mrs. Moore, you must be so happy.
Yes.
Happiness. Well, that's quite another problem. We shall be here for some time longer. For the major part of my life, I suppose. And Mrs. Moore at least through the hot weather.
You are to be married here in Chandrapur. Oh, what a great honor for our poor little town.
No, in the hills. But in future, I intend to stay in the plains. I don't believe in hot weather. I've no patience with these wives who leave their husbands every May. Mrs. Bride hasn't stayed once in the plains since she married. She leaves her quite intelligent husband alone half the year, and then is surprised she's out of touch with him.
Well, she has children, you see. Children can be very demanding.
Oh, yes. Children are the greatest joy. You must have many children, Miss Quested.
I'm not sure I want any.
Oh, Miss Quested, I tell you what. Since we are all being Muslims today, may I wish you in the true Muslim way 100 sons.
Well, shouldn't we see the caves before the sun gets too high?
Oh, yes, yes. Quite right, quite right. The guide will leave. Come, Mrs. Moore.
You help me out.
Thank you very much. Now, once you are inside the cave, listen to the echo. You say anything, everything, and then wait for this remarkable echo. Walk on, I beg of you, walk on. Chalo, tum bhi jao. Baithe nahi yahan, nikamme log kahin ke. Jao, go with my guests, show them some honor.
Are you all right?
Shut me in there. All those people in the dark.
You look pale. Do you feel ill?
No, I'm just tired, that's all. You better go on to the next cave without me.
You aren't well. We'll wait until after breakfast.
No, that'll disappoint him, so you go on, dear. You don't mind, do you?
Oh, no, of course not.
Well, Mrs. Moore, Miss Quested, what do you think? An extraordinary echo, do you not think? Come, let us see the next cave. Come along, Mrs. Moore.
Dr. Aziz, forgive me if I am rather tired. Would you mind if I stayed here and rested?
My dear Mrs. Moore, you do just as you please.
Thank you.
You are my guest.
Yes.
Oh, believe me, I'm very glad you are not coming, which sounds strange, but it means you are treating me with true frankness like a friend.
Yes, a friend. So, may I make another suggestion? Don't have so many people with you this time. I think you will find it more convenient.
Exactly. Exactly as you wish. No one to accompany Miss Quested. Come, Miss Quested.
Oh, my glasses. Tell me, Dr. Aziz, do you think it foolish of me to give in to Ronnie about being married in the hills?
No. It is very sensible. Much cooler in the hills.
You were married in the hills?
Well, for Indians, it is different.
Your wife? What was she like?
She came from a good family. Simple Muslim lady. A good wife.
And you were happily married?
Oh, yes. Very happily married. Although this will sound strange to you, Miss Quested, although we never set eyes on each other until our wedding day.
It was all arranged by your families?
Yes, in the usual way, very happily arranged.
She never left you in the hot weather?
I used to tease her about it sometimes. She was not exactly like a Mughal princess. No, she never left me.
You must miss her terribly. Was she your only wife?
Yes, one in my own particular case.
But Muslims are allowed 4, are they not?
Well, man is weak.
साहब, सब तैयार। ये बात पहले वाले से बहुत पुराना है साहब। यहाँ महाराजा इंदर भी आया करते हैं। और यहाँ पे बहुत बड़े-बड़े लोग आया करते थे, उनकी आत्मा को बहुत शांति मिलती थी।
What happened? What was that? Did something happen? Yeah. It's a dream. A dream. Dear. Oh.
Here we are, at last.
Oh, Mr. Jim.
How are you, Mrs. Moore?
Oh,
So stupid of us to miss that train. It was my fault. I was at my prayers. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Now we're here. Where's Miss Creston and Dr. Aziz?
They went on to one of the further caves.
But are you sure?
Yes.
That's funny, because I thought I saw her climbing down the hillside as we came up.
But why should she be climbing down hillsides?
Oh, I don't know. I can't imagine.
Perhaps she had dropped something and gone in search of it.
That's why I'm not send a servant.
Oh, it begins like this.
Yes, I was right. There she is. She's on the road. Just getting into a car. Going.
Fielding, my friend, you came, you joined us.
Aziz, what's Miss Creston? What was she doing down there?
It is nothing at all. She must have come out of the cave and saw the car of her friend coming and decided on a ride back to town.
What friend? Who picked her up? I mean, she has such an extraordinary way to behave. I mean, she's not ill, is she?
No. Oh, no, there is no question of it. Look, if she was ill, she would have wanted to attend her.
Oh, yes.
Really
Yes, of course, that's
seated,
true.
Mr.
Yes.
Fielding. It is hot in the sun.
Professor Gorbole, what a great pleasure to see you. Sit down all. Professor Gorbole, I'm very glad you came, because you, a scholar, you can explain to Mrs. Moore all the undoubtedly interesting history of Maraba caves.
If I may be permitted, I will tell Mrs. Ma the story of the tank of the dagger. Once there was Hindu Raja who had slain his own sister's son. The dagger with which the deed was performed remained stuck to the hand until in the course of years he came to the Malabar Hills. Here he grew thirsty and desired to partake of one drink. But he saw a thirsty cow and ordered that water should be given to her first. This being done, dagger fell from hand. And to commemorate miracle, he built tank.
But I would have thought the miracle was the dagger sticking to his hand rather than falling from it.
Would you like to see tank? It is only a small way up the hill.
Oh, thank you. A short walk before we go back to Chandrapur might do me some good. Yes, I'd like to. Very much. Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
Oh, my dear Aziz, what a trouble today has been for you.
Oh, no trouble, no trouble.
Oh, guests rushing away and guests not arriving in time. Always. Tell me, Aziz, have you reckoned up how much this picnic is going to cost you?
Oh, my dear fellow, do not mention the subject. Hundreds and hundreds of rupees. Oh, the completed account will be too awful.
Oh.
You know, my friend's servants have robbed me left, right, and center.
Oh, no, that's monstrous.
I'm delighted, really. They have made my guests comfortable. If money goes, money comes. If money stays, death comes. Have you heard this proverb before? You couldn't. I just now invented it.
Yes, well, have you heard any of my proverbs? A penny saved is a penny earned. A stitch in time saves 9. Look before you leap. The whole British Empire rests on them. Never kick us out, you know, until you make prudence a virtue here.
Kick you out? Oh, no. I leave it to the politician. You know, when I was a student, I used to get excited over your damned countrymen. But now I think if I can be friends with one Englishman, it is more important than being enemies with an entire nation.
Yes, well, now, Aziz, as a friend, now, you mustn't be offended at this. Will you let me share the expenses of this picnic with you?
Oh, no, my dear Fielding. The gesture is enough. The act would be too much. No. Open it.
Who is it?
She was my wife. You are the first Englishman she has ever come before. Now put her photograph away.
I've never been so deeply complimented. Never.
She's dead. I showed her to you because I have nothing else to show. I hear Miss Quested is getting married.
Yes, that's right. She's getting married to Hessler.
Yes, I'm very glad she's not marrying up with you.
Me? Me? Now, what on earth put that idea into your head?
I don't know. Something you said. Anyway, she has practically no breasts. Oh, for the city magistrate, they shall perhaps be sufficient. But for you, oh, I shall arrange a lady for you with breasts like...
Like pomegranates, yes. Yes, I know.
I was going to say mangoes.
What? You do no such thing.
Not really. Only a gesture to match your gesture.
You know, I can't help feeling that something went wrong here.
Oh, Mrs. Moore, I ask you, did anything go wrong with my arrangements? Are you dissatisfied with me?
On the contrary, your arrangements were perfect. Nothing went wrong.
You see, Fielding, you see?
Dr. Aziz, I know I'm being a very awkward guest, but unless you have something very special to keep you here, could we go back to Chandrapur?
Exactly as you wish. We've had our little excursion. We have seen the caves. Now back to home and rest.
Yes.
So, nothing happened?
Of course something happened, Mr. Fielding.
Did it?
But it's too late now. She has started the machine. It was run to its end. The machine to kill love.
Come along, my dear Fielding.
You know, Aziz, I feel rather worried.
Oh, my dear fellow, I'm the host. Leave the worrying to me.
Yes, but did you hear what Mrs. Moore said?
She's old and tired. She will soon forget this day. But I shall remember this day forever. Come.
I knew it would end badly. All these foolish attempts to see India.
But who could know it would end as badly as this?
Picnic at Malabar. Only a novice would think of such a thing. A picnic with Indians. I don't know how you can all be so calm about it.
Please.
I can't help it. I'm afraid of Indians. After all, I have children.
Mrs. McBride, I can't allow this. From you of all.
Well, I'm going to leave. I can't stand any more.
Leave India?
Yes, I shall ask my husband to resign. We'll leave India and return.
Return? To what?
England, of course.
Things aren't the same for us. Things aren't so easy in England.
Well, we can ask for a transfer. Transfer where? There's not a place on the map you won't come up against the same kind of thing. Africa, for example. We have friends who settle in Kenya. There's no trouble there. The natives know they're placed in Africa.
Oh, how is she?
Oh, she's in a very bad way.
Has she made a statement yet?
Yes, she's just about
Then it really
Yes, it's as bad as we feared.
Oh, I knew it. I told you.
Well, he'll be punished, make no mistake.
Yes, after the damage is done.
He could hardly be punished before.
Well, the situation should never have arisen. Never.
Never, of course not. Absolutely. Oh, thank God you've got here safely, Mrs. Moore.
Well, are you all right? Do
Ladies,
come in.
ladies, please, what's all this about?
We thought you'd be able to tell us, Mr. Fielding.
Tell you what?
I dare say it has to do with Adela.
Miss Preston?
Yes, she has not been well lately.
Not well. But since when?
Oh, the last few days, since before this excursion, anyway.
Since before.
I thought we agreed she was all right.
Not physical illness.
I don't understand.
Well, I suppose since you insist, one must call it a spiritual illness. Now, please, leave me alone, Mr. Fielding. I am tired and I wish to sit down.
Well, that's very strange. But I mean, she was there. Why doesn't she?
She doesn't know herself. She doesn't know. I think it's shocking that she doesn't say anything. She doesn't know.
Major Calendar is here.
Good to see you, Calendar. Hello, Dr. Saab. Well, how is she? Is she worse?
Oh, no, she's no worse. But by no means out of danger. Oh, dear. Fever, of course, only to be expected. And those cactus thorns. They'll all have to be taken out, every one of them, under a magnifying glass. And they're all over her.
Girl.
What am I to do about the rest? Her mind. The disturbance in her mind. And the terror. Mrs. Moore, perhaps you could help me. Miss Christie complains of an echo. Inside her head, she says, as though her head were a cave. An echo.
Yes, there was one.
Was it something to do with the cave?
Yes, but there was nothing distinctive about the echo in the cave.
I'm sorry to press this point, but if you could help me explain it to me, I might be able to do something for her.
Something like that. Whatever is said, the same monotonous noise replies. That's as near as I can get to it. Utterly dull. Hope, politeness, the blowing of a nose, the squeak of a boot, all produce
No, I blame myself for this entirely. If I hadn't given that jewel of assistant mine leave, this would never have happened.
Oh, rubbish. You couldn't have been expected to foresee what might...
Aziz. Well, what's he done?
Do you seriously insist, Fielding, that you don't know?
Well, Mrs. Moore and myself, we came direct from the station.
Miss Crested was attacked and insulted at the Malabar Caves.
Yes.
What?
She escaped by God's grace.
Disease. But who brings this wicked charge?
My wife and the unfortunate girl herself.
What do you mean that Miss Crested herself definitely accuses him?
Yes.
Of attempted rape?
Yes.
And she must be mad.
Oh,
As collector of this district, I must ask you to withdraw that remark instantly.
I think so, too.
I'm sorry, sir. I do. I withdraw it unconditionally. It's just that... well, I find it hard to believe that Dr. Aziz is guilty. I make no reflection on the good faith of the two ladies, but the charge they're bringing against Aziz must rest on some mistake. Oh, I'm sure 5 minutes will clear it up.
It does indeed rest upon a mistake. I've been in this country for 25 years, and during that time, I've never known anything but disaster result whenever English people and Indians attempt to be intimate socially. You, Mr. Fielding, you with your liberal ideas, you want peace and sound administration, comfortable life and time to get on with your work. Believe me, we are the ones who make that possible for you. And gladly. But you demand more. You demand that everyone should be treated on equal terms. In an instant, you see what happens. The work of years is undone, and the good name of my district is ruined for a generation.
I only ask that one man, one Indian, be treated like a human being.
And I am talking about a large community, Mr. Fielding, both Britons and Indians. You, Mr. Fielding, you were responsible for the safety of those ladies.
Yes, you were.
Can you explain why you did not accompany them to Malabar?
You may or may not know, Professor Godwell and I we were delayed. We missed the early train.
Delayed?
Yes, I had to pick Godwell up on my way to the station. When I got to the house, well, he was saying his prayers and couldn't be disturbed.
Look, Fielding, we have reason to believe that Godwell was bribed.
Bribed? By Aziz? What on earth, Paul?
What holds you up to delay you? The whole thing was premeditated, don't you see? Mr. Fielding, did it not occur to you to wonder why Miss Crested did not return to the rest of your party?
Well, I thought I knew why. I saw her leave by a car which...
It was my wife.
Yes, yes.
And she has confirmed it.
Mrs. Moore, you were there. What happened? Was Miss Crested in a hurry to get home?
I don't know. She's never been in a hurry in her life.
Well, perhaps she wasn't feeling very well. Didn't want to disturb the rest of the company, a touch of the sun, perhaps.
I wasn't feeling very well myself.
So it might have been the sun.
Not the sun. I went into the first cave with them. It seemed as though people crushed in after us to crush the heat and the smell, and then the echo. Oh, I was suffocated. I didn't go on to the next cave with them. I wasn't feeling very well.
Oh, there you are, Fielding. He bribed Godwell to delay you, and then he must have bribed the guide and the servants to stifle Mrs. Moore. I mean, what more do you want? It's all perfectly clear.
It was the echo.
Well, I think it was very neatly planned.
Yes.
Mrs. Moore out of the way, as it is free to go on to the cave alone with the girl, and
That'll
then...
do. That's done enough, I think we've made the position clear to Mr. Fielding.
McBride,
McBride, have you some official information for us at last?
More than information, sir. Concrete evidence. I'm afraid the case will definitely have to come to trial.
Did she say any more about the echo?
No, I didn't pursue it. She's too frightened. Wanted only to mention it, and she became completely hysterical.
But Mrs. Moore says it wasn't a frightening echo.
You're wrong. It was both frightening and disagreeable. It undermined one's hold on life. It said, piety, pathos, courage, they exist, but they are identical. And so is filth. Everything exists. Nothing has value. If one had spoken vileness in that place, or recited poetry, if one had pleaded for all the unhappiness in the world, past, present, and to come, the comment would have been the same.
Still room for error. isn't it possible that this echo affected Miss Creston's nerves? That she's confused events in her own mind?
Oh, no. No, she's quite clear about that. It was when she went into the second cave. The charge is that he followed her into the cave and, made insulting advances. Yeah. She hit at him with her field glasses. He pulled at them. The strap broke, and that's how she got away.
Oh, no. There must be
When
something.
we searched him at the police station, the glasses were in a pocket. Have a look at them. Oh, and look at this. A letter from a friend who apparently runs a brothel in Calcutta.
His private letters.
It'll have to be quoted in court as bearing on his morals. He was arranging to meet this man and see women in Calcutta.
Oh.
It's quite clear what thoughts filled his head. Oh, and that's not all. Look at this. Photographs of women.
His wife.
Oh, how do you know?
He told me. It was a great compliment for a Muslim to show me the picture of his wife.
Well, we all know those wives, eh?
Well, whatever our thoughts may be, there's certainly no doubt that McBride has produced all the evidence that's necessary. Now, I must have a talk with Heslop. I wonder if you would mind staying here till I finish.
Oh, no, of course. Mr. McBride. Good. Mr. McBride.
Excuse me.
I should very much like to see Miss Creston.
I'm afraid that's impossible.
Well, you see, I must, because, well, I believe that this wretched boy is innocent. She's under some hideous delusion. I mean, these field glasses, for instance. Is it possible that having attempted to assault her, he'd have put them into his pocket?
Quite possible, I'm afraid. The color of their skin is not the only difference. Their minds don't work the same way. Psychologically, we're as different as chalk from cheese. You've only to read any of the mutiny records.
Yes, well, however that may be, I still should like to see Miss Creston.
But why?
Because I want to ask her whether she's certain, dead certain, that it was Aziz who followed her into the cave.
I might ask her that much.
Yes, well, I'd like to ask her myself. I'd like somebody who believes in him to ask her.
What difference does that make?
Because she's surrounded by people who disbelieve in Indians.
She tells her own story, doesn't
Yes,
she?
I know, but she tells it to you.
Well, whatever your fine-spun theories may be, you can't see her.
I can see your prisoner, I suppose.
Look, Fielding, the situation in Chandrapur is going to be very nasty. We'll all have to hang together, I'm afraid. At a time like this, there's no room for, well, personal views. The man who doesn't toe the line is lost.
Oh, yes, I can see that.
I'm afraid you don't see. If you leave the line, you leave a gap in the line. These jackals who call themselves his lawyers will be looking with all their eyes for a gap. Besides, the results could be very serious for you, for your career.
Can I see Aziz?
No.
Oh, God.
Unless you have a magistrate's order.
And to whom do I apply for a magistrate's order?
The city magistrate.
Heslop. That's very comfortable.
You see, it's a very tricky business.
Perhaps it might be...
Oh, please. Please, everybody, do sit down. I wish everyone would sit.
Well, some of us have never got up.
Mr. Fielding, what has prevented you from standing up?
May I make a statement, sir?
Certainly.
I believe that Dr. Aziz is innocent.
Oh, gracious. You have a right to hold to that opinion if you wish, but is that any reason why you should insult Mr.
May I conclude my statement, sir?
No.
I shall wait to hear the verdict of the court. And if he's guilty, I shall resign the service and leave India. I resign from the club now.
You have not answered my question. Why did you not stand up when Mr. Heslop entered?
I'm not here to answer questions, but to make a personal statement.
You're not to go yet, Mr. Fielding. Before you leave this club, from which you do very well to resign, you will express some detestation of the crime, and you will apologize to Mr. Heslop.
I shall wait to see whether, in fact, there was a crime before I decide to apologize to all of you. Or to Dr. Aziz.
Apologize?
Well, I can't very well while this person prevents me.
Oh, let him go, for God's sake.
My dear Heslop, I don't need to tell you how appalled I am at Fielding's behavior.
Doesn't matter, it doesn't.
Well, all I can tell you is that you'll have a chance to even the score in court.
Yes, well, I've been thinking about that.
I shouldn't say this, but well, we all know what the verdict is.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let me leave it at this. We will back you up every step of the way. And when you speak from the magistrate's bench, you'll be speaking for all of us.
Yes, well, that's just it. I don't think that we should decide beforehand. What I mean is, being an interested party, I don't think that I should try this case.
What? You'll understand your feelings, my boy, but they mustn't stand in your way at a time like this.
It's not a question of my feelings. I just don't think that it would be fair, not really just.
But, sir, what's the alternative?
My deputy will have to take over.
Your deputy? An Indian? You mean you'd allow an Indian to...
Yes, will have to take over.
Islam, you can't be serious.
But Das is a good man. I've been training him for some time. He's sound and loyal.
Oh, they're none of them loyal. No.
You realize what's going to happen?
There could be riots, even bloodshed.
Well, your mother may be involved.
Well, I'm sorry. I couldn't continue as magistrate here if I tried this case.
Oh, the magistrate.
It's a question of justice, don't you see?
Oh, justice from an Indian?
No, from us, Mrs. McBride.
Oh, really? Good.
Mother, I'm sorry after such a frightful day that you had to be dragged down here. Adela was asking for you. She's so afraid. She needs reassurance from you.
Reassurance? That she made no mistake?
Oh, no, there's no mistake. But if only you've been with her.
I was with her.
No, I mean in the cave as a witness.
Those caves had no witnesses. It was pitch dark anyway.
Yes, but nothing would have happened.
You cannot have her arrogance without something happening.
Arrogance? Why, Adela's the most modest creature in the world. All she wanted was to be useful and do some good.
Exactly, arrogance.
Even now, even when she's so ill, she's worried about the trouble to others.
You see.
No, Mother, I don't see.
Oh, well, if you don't see, you don't see. The professor told us, he warned us, that there was nothing to be seen in those caves except with the inner eye. Is she so special that she cannot come to terms?
Come to terms with what?
Well, with India, with herself. Oh, Ronnie, you do ask such silly questions.
Huh? No, perhaps it was just that you could never answer them. Adela could. She was always clear and definite. They were the first things I really admired about her.
I suppose you will marry her after all.
Oh, what an extraordinary question to ask. I couldn't let her down now. Of course we'll be married in the hills as we planned.
Love in the heat, marriage in the hills. Such a fuss. Marriage. The human race would have become a single person centuries ago if marriage were any use. But it's only an excuse because you're all too frightened to love. Of love. So you get married and you talk a lot of rubbish about love. Love in the church, love in the caves, as if there was the slightest difference.
Mother, will you please tell me what you're talking about?
About the small, kind people. I wish for their happiness. I told Dr. Aziz so. In the mosque and in the caves. The ones that can love.
Love. You keep talking about love. It's so vague and irresponsible. Some young man in a mosque.
It sounds vague, I dare say. Universal love.
Well, you should have turned some of that famous love toward the people closer to you. Things might have been different. I might have been different.
Well, what about me? Have I no rights? Am I to be bothered?
Oh, Mother, for heaven's sake, what do you want?
What do I want? I want to go home.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'll take you home.
I mean, home to England.
England? You can't go yet. There's the trial. You'll have to give evidence.
Have to? I don't have to do anything.
I thought you would want to give evidence to help Adela.
Wouldn't listen to all those endless, foolish questions. Was he in the cave? Were you in the cave? And on and on. And unto us a son is born. Unto us a child is given. Love again, you see. And am I good and was he bad and are we saved? And ending everything, the echo. That echo is India, after all. The ending of all our pathetic little dreams. Nothing. Good and bad. Love, hate, terror. All one.
Now, Mother, you must be reasonable. It's only another few weeks.
No, Ronnie. I have a lot of thinking to do. And even if I were not busy, I would not help you to torture him for what he never did.
Mother, if you know anything in the prisoner's favor, you must say so. It's your duty.
One knows people's characters, as you call them. I feel it is not the kind of thing he would have done.
Oh, well, that's no defense.
None.
Have you no evidence?
Evidence?
Oh, Mother, you're being most inconsiderate to Adela.
Well, why should I worry about her when everything I've ever believed in turns out to be meaningless? There's good, small, loving people.
Oh, please, please, Mother, listen. I've never asked you this sort of thing before. We've never been close. But for Adela, whom I love, won't you see her at least?
No, Ronnie, I will not. I wish only to be left in peace, to live out my days, knowing what I now know.
Very well, Mother, very well.
Not justice, retribution, goodness. Just some part of the truth. If it is the truth.
Well, you really must rest. It will all work out. Come, we'll go home.
Yes, Ronnie. I'm going home now. Ronnie, I'm sure to break down.
No, you will be strong.
If I do break down, it's of no consequence. I can behave as I like. I can cry, be absurd. I'm bound to get my verdict, unless Mr. Darcy's unjust.
No, he's all right if any of them are.
You mean he's more frightened of acquitting than convicting, because if he acquits, he'll lose his job.
No, you know that's absolute nonsense.
Oh, Ronnie, how can I repay you? How can one repay when one's nothing to give? What's the use of personal relationships when everyone brings less and less to them? We ought to go back in the desert for centuries, try to become good. I want to begin at the beginning. Oh, Ronnie, I'm not fit for personal relationships. Please, I'm all right. I just need some air.
Yes, of course.
Ah, there you are. Hamidullah. Have you brought Amrita with you?
Yes, he's in there.
Ah, good.
What are we to do? We must hit with all our strength. I would gladly have defended Aziz alone, but when I knew that his reputation would be damaged beyond all hope, I said to myself, Amrita is the man to fix this up.
Oh, well, we're bound to win anyway.
My dear Fielding, you actually are on our side against your own people.
Hamidullah, I don't suppose I shall have an opportunity of speaking with Aziz. If you have the chance, just, well, you know, give him my love.
Good. And what do you think? Well, according to our philosophy, nothing can be formed in isolation. When one performs a good action, all perform it. And when evil action is performed, all perform it.
Yes, I know, but look, I mean, what's your personal opinion? Don't you care what happens to Aziz?
It has already happened. Guilty or innocent, the change is made, and all our lives are changed with it. We cannot escape that.
Indeed, it's rather good. Here she is.
Soon be over, my dear. I've got the champagne ready for after.
One now.
Please be seated. Fielding, my friend, don't desert me.
Well, sir, we're here today to deal with a crime of the most revolting sort. In consideration of this question, I'm going to recount the facts as briefly as possible. I shall make no moral or emotional appeal, as the facts themselves are painfully clear and require no elaboration. Now, on April the 3rd of this year, Miss Quested and her friend, Mrs. Moore, were invited to a tea party at the house of the principal of the government college, Mr. Fielding. It was at this entertainment that the prisoner first met Miss Quested, and it was on this occasion that he conceived his intentions concerning her. He then invited Miss Quested and the other guests of the tea party to a picnic, which he would arrange at the Malabar Caves. We want to keep these proceedings as clean as possible, so I hope you'll understand me when I say what I believe to be a general truth. The darker races are physically attracted to the fairer, but not vice versa.
Quite, sir. I've always said so.
It's not a matter for bitterness, nor is it a matter for abuse. It's merely a fact which any scientific observer will confirm.
Even when the lady is so uglier than the gentleman?
Are you all right, Angela? Miss Quested is not well.
Sir, I must have better arrangements for my patient. She gets no air down here.
No.
Why is she not given a seat on the platform? Right.
I shall be happy to accommodate Miss Quested with a chair up here. In view of special circumstances.
Come on. You're right.
We're not here to disturb you.
Sorry, my bride. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
Are you quite comfortable?
Yes, much better.
Possibly. No. My client, too, has nerves. Perhaps he, too, could be accommodated on the platform. Even Indians feel unwell sometimes. Though naturally, Dr. Callender, being in charge of a government hospital, does not think so.
Another example of their exquisite sense of humor.
That's enough, Mr. Amidula. We will have no more interruptions of such an impertinent sort. Please resume, Superintendent.
Now, on the morning of April the 13th...
Excuse me, but we must object to the presence of so many European ladies on the platform. They will have the effect of intimidating our witnesses. Their place is with the rest of the public in the body of the hall. We have no objection, however, to Miss Quested remaining on the platform since she was unwell. We shall extend every courtesy to her throughout, despite the scientific truths revealed to us by the district superintendent of police. But we do object to the others.
I agree to that. It was only to Miss Quested that I gave permission to sit up here. Her friends should be so excessively kind as to climb down.
Well done.
Down, indeed. What incredible encouragement.
I object. A platform confers authority.
Even when it's only 1 foot high. Never mind, ladies, you'd better come back. There's no point in making a fuss.
Oh.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Mr. Hazlitt. Thank you very much.
Sorry about that, Mrs. Fletcher. Give you a hand.
Well, once again, to resume. On the morning of April the 13th, near the picnic, The ladies were driven to the railway station in time to catch the early train to Malabar. We will show that doubtless some persuasion was used to enable Professor Godberly to delay Mr. Fielding long enough to miss the train. I have here a plan of the Malabar Hills showing the route that the party took, the picnic sites marked with a cross, and it's also marked the cave in which the incident took place. Miss Quest had entered the cave, and the prisoner followed her to make his premeditated assault. It was dark. He grabbed at her field glasses, the strap broke, and she was able to escape his advances. She ran down the gully.
You surmise, sir. You merely surmise from what the lady said.
Have a look at the glasses. They were found in his pocket when we searched him at the police station. The strap is newly broken. The eyepiece is jammed. What does the logic of evidence say?
Logic? You call this logic?
Mr. Hamidullah, you will have a chance to state the case for the defense in a short while. Please continue, Superintendent.
I've little more to add at present, sir. The facts will show the prisoner to be one of those individuals who's led a double life. He's pretended to be a respectable member of society, but even managed to get a government position. And if the defense calls character witnesses, I beg you to remember that they, too, were probably taken in by his duplicity. He's now entirely vicious and beyond redemption. He's behaved quite disgracefully and brutally to another of his guests, another English lady. In order to get rid of her and free himself for his crime, he crushed her into a cave among his servants. That's by the way.
He's speaking of Mrs. Moore. She was my friend.
What is my client charged with murder as well as rape? Who is the second English lady? You may use English or something.
I met Mrs. Moore in the mosque. She was my friend.
Mrs. Moore in the masjid में मिले थे वही. Mrs. Moore, do you speak of Mrs. Moore?
I don't propose to call her.
She is Mrs. Moore. She would have proved his innocence. She was on our side. She was your and dear friend.
You could have called her yourself. Neither side called her, and neither must go to the evidence.
She was kept mustn't sleep. I learned to sleep. This is your English justice. Here is your British right. Give us back Mrs. Moore. Give us Mrs. Moore for 5 minutes only, and she will save my friend. She will save the name of his son. Oh, don't run out, Mr. Das. Take back your word that you yourself are a father. Tell me where they've kept her.
If the point is of any interest, my mother is still at sea.
You have smuggled her out of the country. You sent her away without giving you the truth. I don't care. I ruined my career. No matter. They're all to be ruined one by one.
There's no way to defend your case, Mr. Hamidullah.
Defend? I'm not defending a case. Neither are you trying one. We're all, both of us, slaves.
Mr. Hamidullah, I shall have to exercise my authority.
Oh, do so by all means. This child is a farce. I'm leaving. Hamid, my dear friend, farewell. Farewell forever.
I apologize. I apologize for my colleague, Mr. Hamidullah. He's an intimate friend of our client, and his feelings have carried him away.
Mr. Hamidullah will have to apologize in person.
Exactly, sir, he must. But we have just learned that Mrs. Moore had important evidence which she desired to give, but she was hurried out of the country by her son before she could give it. This naturally unhinged Mr. Hamidullah, coming as it does upon an attempt to undermine the evidence of our only other European witness, Mr. Fielding, by casting aspersions on his character. Mr. Hamidullah would have said nothing had not Mr. Moore been claimed as a witness by the police.
An extraneous element is being introduced into this case. I must repeat that as a witness, Mrs. Moore does not exist. Neither you, Mr. Amrit Rao, nor Mr. McBride, you have any right to surmise what the lady would have said.
Well, sir, I withdraw the reference. As it happens, Mrs. Moore has already left India at her own insistence and didn't wish to give evidence on either side. Well, isn't that so, Mr. Hester? She didn't wish to appear at this trial.
Even if she had wanted to, she couldn't. She was very ill. In fact, I've already had a cable. My mother died a few days out to sea.
May we offer our condolences, sir? With all due respect, we withdraw the reference to Mrs. Moore for the defense.
I take it then I may call my first witness.
Yes?
Miss Quested, please. In view of Miss Quested's ill health, I wish to ask the indulgence of the court to present my questions in an abbreviated form so that you may not be too tired out.
Proceed, Mr. I will stop you if your examination seems irregular.
Sir? I'll ask you then, Miss Quested, if it is true that you first met the prisoner at a tea party at the house of Mr. Fielding.
Yes.
Was the suggestion to have a picnic and the invitation to it extended by him on that occasion?
Yes.
Now, the prisoner met you at the railway station on the morning of April the 13th, and since Mr. Fielding didn't arrive in time to catch the train, the prisoner, Mrs. Moore, and you traveled on ahead?
Yes. That is, with the guide and servants.
Yes, yes, of course. Now, when you arrived at Malabar, your party climbed up to the cave, and at the picnic site in front of the caves, paused for some refreshment?
Dr. Aziz had gone to a great deal of trouble.
Yes, yes, no doubt. Well, after this refreshment, you and Mrs. Moore were shown into the first of the caves.
Yes.
I shall ignore the incident in that cave and ask you only whether Mrs. Moore expressed any wish to continue to the other caves with you.
No. She was tired after the first cave. She didn't want to go on.
So the prisoner and the guide took you on to the next cave?
Yes. It was higher up and round a sort of spur. No one was present. We appeared to be alone.
Well, now there's a ledge halfway up the spur with caves scattered near the beginning of a gully. You went alone into one of those caves?
Yes.
And the prisoner followed you? The prisoner followed you, didn't he?
I was thinking.
Did the prisoner follow you? Take your time, Miss Question.
I was thinking, before I went into the cave, about my engagement. About Ronnie.
There's no need to go into all that, Miss Quested. It has no bearing on our case.
Yes, you see, it has. I'd been talking to Dr. Aziz about my engagement to be married, and he'd been telling me about his own marriage.
Well, now, that might indeed have a bearing on our case. In fact, I have here papers taken from the prisoner when he returned, from a friend he was planning to visit. A friend who apparently runs a brothel in Calcutta.
His private letters.
And we have more evidence. Look at these. Pictures of women.
His wife.
Wife, indeed. We all know these wives.
We produce this evidence only to confirm the nature of the prisoner's thoughts. Now, Miss Quested...
Mr. McBride, I'm concerned with the nature of my own thoughts. I remember I was climbing over a rock, which resembled an inverted saucer. And I was thinking about India. And about love.
We needn't worry with all that, Miss Quested. It's the facts we must determine. Did the prisoner follow you into the cave?
Not to love the man one's going to marry. Love. I remember. Now I remember.
Miss Quested, did he or did he not follow you into the cave?
I'm not quite sure.
I beg your pardon.
I cannot be sure.
Miss Quested, you are on that ledge and you've just entered the cave. The question is, did the prisoner follow you into the cave? Well, what do you mean, please?
No!
What is it that you're saying? Speak up, please.
I'm afraid I've made a mistake.
What nature of mistake?
Dr. Aziz never followed me into the cave.
Miss Quested, let's go on. I'll read you the words of the deposition which you made only some hours later.
You cannot go on, sir.
But, sir...
I'm speaking to the witness myself. And the public will be silent. If it continues to talk, I'll have the court cleared. Now, Miss Quested, address your remarks to me. I am the magistrate in charge of this case. Please realize the extreme gravity of your words. And remember, you speak on oath, Miss Quested.
Dr. Aziz,
I stop this case on medical grounds.
Yes, sir.
To withdraw the charge, answer me.
I withdraw everything.
Are you mad?
Your question, I say, you no longer have the right.
Thank you, sir. Give me time to consider. Mr. McBride, you will have to withdraw. This becomes a scandal.
We shall not. We're none of us safe.
The prisoner is released without stain on his character, the question of costs will be decided elsewhere.
What are you doing? Don't just sit there. Where are you going to go?
I don't know.
Oh, you can't stay here. You can't just walk about the streets. I mean, where's the car you came in?
Perhaps I can walk.
Walk? Rubbish. Probably be a riot. Why don't you keep with your own people?
Ought I to join them?
Well, I can't now. It's too late. Look, Miss Crested, if you like, you can have my carriage. Be safe in it, and we can send it back any time tomorrow.
But where am I to go in it?
Oh, whatever you like. You know your own arrangements best.
See, I can't go to Ronnie's house. Or the club. I don't want to be a trouble to anyone.
A trouble? After all?
No, I mean, if there's a hotel.
Oh, if there's no hotel, unless the Traveller's Rest House. That's primitive.
That doesn't matter. I shall stay there till I can make arrangements to leave India.
As simple as that. Miss Crested, what have you been doing? Have you been playing a game, or studying life, or what?
Have you any explanation for my extraordinary behavior?
No, none at all. I mean, I'd make such a charge if you're going to withdraw it.
Why, indeed?
I suppose I ought to be grateful. Now that disease has been saved.
No. I'm the only one to be grateful. My echo's gone. I call it a sort of buzzing in my ears. An echo. You see, I've been unwell ever since that expedition to the caves, and possibly before it. I think it must have had something to do with the echo.
Yes. Yes, the echo in the caves. Mrs. Moore described it in very much the same way.
Did she?
Yes.
Well, yes. I was in a state of sadness before I went into the caves. I began to see, or rather to sense, that all my life, everything I ever believed in, amounted to nothing. Nothing at all. It was a sort of hallucination, the sort of thing that makes some women believe they've had a proposal of marriage when none has been made.
Well, you put it very honestly, I must say.
I was brought up to be honest. It gets me nowhere. In a way, that's my trouble. Some honesties are too great to be borne. India is too big for me.
Possibly one has to destroy what one can't cope with.
You mean
Your life in India. Yourself in India.
Oh. Love?
No. That's all over now.
Yeah. It's all over now.
My dear Fielding, what is keeping you? There is to be a celebration at my house, but Aziz refuses to move without you. Come along.
Well, Miss Crested has just been explaining a little of her conduct this morning.
Or perhaps the age of miracles has returned. One must be prepared for anything, everything, our philosophers say.
The fact is that I realized my mistake before it was too late. That is all my extraordinary conduct amounts to.
All it amounts to, indeed. I see you drag my best friend into the dirt, damage his health, ruin his prospects in a manner that you cannot possibly conceive, owing to your ignorance of our society and our religion. And then suddenly you get up on the witness box. Oh, no, Mr. McBride, after all, I'm not quite sure. You may as well let him go. Is this a dream, I keep asking myself? Or if it is, am I mad? If this is a dream, when did it start? Come, Fielding, let us leave this callous woman.
Oh, please don't let me detain you. I should be leaving. Anyway, the crowds must have cleared by now.
And don't forget, Miss Quested, there will be costs. You will have to pay. Amrit Rao has fixed the compensation at 20,000 rupees.
Miss Crested, just a minute. Somebody must go with you. You can't go alone. You wait for me in my carriage. Madonna, this is preposterous. That girl, how can that girl pay such an enormous sum? It'll ruin her.
And what about Aziz? Is he not ruined? These English are much richer than they tell you, Fielding. Think of Aziz, Fielding. Think of Aziz.
Who is thinking of me, Fielding? Hamidullah, think of me in my victory. I agree. Think of Aziz.
Yes, I am thinking of Aziz. Aziz, you're the one in the strong position.
Oh, there will be a general shifting of position in Chandarpur.
Aziz, you won a great victory.
I know, my dear chap, I know. Your voice need not become so solemn and anxious. I know what you are going to say next. Let Miss Quested go off without paying, so that the English can say, oh, here is a native who has actually behaved like a gentleman. If it was not for his black face, we will almost admit him to our club. The approval of your compatriots no longer interests me. I have become anti-British and should have done so sooner. It would have saved me numerous troubles.
Including, knowing me.
You think that by letting Miss Quested off without paying, I will make a better reputation for myself and all the other Indians generally? No, my dear fellow, it will be put down to weakness and an attempt to gain promotion officially.
I've just been talking to Miss Quested.
I don't want to hear anything about it.
Well, I'm going to tell you anyway. I've learned something about her, that she's perfectly genuine and very brave. When she saw that she was wrong, she said so. She pulled herself up with a jerk, and she said so. Now, Aziza, I want you to realize what this means. She could easily have got you convicted, and she had all her people, the entire British Raj, pushing her forward. But no, she stops. She stops. And she blows the whole thing to smithereens. Be merciful, Aziz. I mean, she can't have the worst of both worlds. Act like one of your 6 Mughal emperors. Or all 6 rolled into one.
Not even the Mughal emperors showed mercy until they received an apology.
Well, look, Aziz. She'll apologize if that's the trouble. I'll make you an offer. I'll dictate to you, or you dictate to me, whatever form of words you like. And I'll bring it back to her tomorrow. This time tomorrow, signed.
Dear Dr. Aziz, I wish you had come into the cave. I am an awful old hag, and this is my last chance. Will she sign that?
Well, there's nothing more to be said after that.
Indeed, there is nothing.
Look, Aziz, please do it. Please. I hate to see you put yourself into this squalid position. Well, do it for my sake, then. Well, if not for mine, do it for Mrs. Moore. Do it for Mrs. Moore.
Is that what she would have wanted?
I'm sure she will.
You put it the only way I cannot refuse. For the sake of a friend, one must do anything.
I knew you'd do it. I knew you would.
That I will behave like an English gentleman. Miss Quested will go free. And you, Fielding, will become the hero of what you call both worlds. But I shall certainly explain that I do this at your request. I wish you luck of it. Come, Hamidullah, let us go to the party.
And me, are we no longer friends?
You belong with Miss Quested. You cannot be with us at the same time.
But why not, Aziz? Why not?
Because we do not understand each other. We are on different sides. And until there is no question of sides, we cannot be friends.
But why should we be ruled by such things? Color, politics. It's India that does this to us.
You see, in the end, even you say that. It is India. India will perhaps be blamed for all the guilt. Probably it is to blame. India is a large country. It can absorb all that guilt and many other things as well. It can certainly absorb our friendship and make nothing of it.
Oh, one day, perhaps, when things are different.
One day.